Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Ask MandRproductions, episode 116. This is my heartiest southern accent. It's not very good. But I got my green hat on. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I know no one's probably going out because of the CV. We're not going to say the word because I might get demonetized. Get a little hot in here, you know how it is. But this is Ask MandRproductions, a series where I answer your questions. If you have a question that you want answered on next week's episode, then you can leave it down in the comment section below, and maybe, just maybe, if you're really lucky, it'll get answered. If you ask a good question, usually that's how it works. First question from Hauntedness. He says, have you ever thought about moving into a house closer to other LEGO YouTubers? Imagine all of the content. So this used to be an idea that I think I came up with about moving into like a LEGO clout house with a bunch of other LEGO YouTubers. It would probably be in Florida, like Orlando or something. But that idea is kind of fallen apart, and I don't really think it'll happen. Maybe moving closer to people would be nice, but again, I mean, most people kind of live in their spread out areas. I mean, I kind of live close to Just Too Good, I live close to Blaine and Anthony, I live close to Pro Lego Channel, and that's really it. I really wish Michael MGF used to live about 2 hours away from me, but that was back in like 2009, 10, 11 era. But if that was modern day, that would have been really cool. To be honest though, would I go specifically out of my way to move closer to a LEGO YouTuber? If it was in the state of Florida, potentially. Outside of the state of Florida, that might be a different story. But that's definitely a thing I would like to have happen. I mean, I really like where I live now though, so I don't really want to move to a different area. So if any LEGO YouTubers want to move to Melbourne, Florida, hit me up. Luna says, hey Ryan, so has there been any more leaks or sources that say anything about the Bark Speeder maybe having 501st Troopers? It's that time again. I have to reiterate this, I feel like every 3 to 6 months so that people understand it. If and when there's more information, it'll be in a YouTube video. It will not be answered in a question like this. There is no more information for me to tell you. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry. I want to know just as bad as you do, trust me, but I have nothing that I can tell you. George Wesley says, does the brick separator count as part of the piece count? And a little bit of research, and it turns out that the brick separator does count as part of the piece count. And I remember specifically something, and maybe you guys can help me out down in the comment section below, but I don't remember the specific set for this. But I know that what happened was that LEGO had to rework a design slightly because they wanted a set to have a specific piece count. It might have been Saturn V getting 1,969 pieces where they messed it up a little bit and they had to change the design because they wanted it to be that exact piece count, but they forgot to account for the brick separator and ended up with 1,970, and then they had to go back in and change the design slightly to remove a piece without compromising the build or the actual looks of the thing. So I think that was the example that told me that yes, brick separators count. Interlock says, what do you think of Lego Mario? Lego Mario is a shocking and very different thing. It is not at all what I would have expected if you asked me what I thought would happen if Lego made Mario sets. That being said, I know this first wave of sets is going to be a very different thing than anything you've really ever seen from Lego before, and I think that's really good of Lego to do. I think it's definitely nice of them to try something out of their comfort zone. I think it's a lot easier for them to do this and then say, hey, let's also make some regular sets, than for them to make regular sets and then say, hey, let's try and make something that's a complete departure. I think that some of the people that are really upset about this are really upset about nothing. I mean, you're going to be mad that you're not getting your Lego Mario minifigure. It is what it is. These are probably the same people that are angry at me for wanting a 501st battle pack. Get your head on straight. That being said, I think Lego will eventually make regular minifigures in like a CMF series. I think that would be the ideal route for them to go. Maybe a 2021 CMF series for Lego Mario would be really dope, and I think it would sell like hotcakes. Or maybe just Lego Nintendo in general, which would include some Mario figures, obviously. But the playsets on a whole are very interesting, and I really have to reserve my opinion until we have more pictures and know exactly what a set contains, because as of now we just have this big picture of a play table with a bunch of combined sets, and we don't really know what's what and what's going to cost how much, and there's still a lot of questions yet to be answered about this, and I want to put together a video of everything we know about Lego Super Mario, because there's still a lot of questions to be answered, but there's still quite a bit that we know. So in short, I like where they're going, and I'll be very interested to see how it develops. I'm definitely going to try it out. I think that's something that I've taken a good stance on with Lego a lot lately, is that I will try it out, and I've really enjoyed that. So this is going to be something very different than we've seen from anything from Lego before, and hopefully it'll be a hit. Benja Garcia says, do you believe in any conspiracy theories? I'm 99% sure that there are aliens in Area 51. I don't know if I believe about the aliens in Area 51. I mean, I know it's a whole meme and everything, but I really don't think the government would be too dumb to hide them at the place that everyone thinks they are, right? That just wouldn't make sense. I also don't really think that aliens are actually here, and if they were, we'd have found them. I just think that's the way that that would go. That being said, conspiracy theory that I used to really believe in was the 9/11, that like the government did 9/11, and looking back on it, really dumb thing to believe. Obviously, at least in my opinion, obviously it wasn't, it was the terrorists, right? Like, it wasn't us. But yeah, that's when I really believed, maybe about a decade ago when I was younger and just really naive. Looking back on it again, it was really dumb to believe in all these stupid documentaries like Building 7 fell down. Like, no, it was on fire most of the day, and that weakened the internal structure, and then it fell down. And no, jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, but them being on fire weakens them, makes them softer, so instead of being hard steel, they're softer, and then they start to crumble, and then it all comes down. Okay, so it makes sense to me that obviously that was BS. So there aren't really any conspiracy theories that I currently subscribe to. There's probably some Lego ones that I've talked about before, but I can't really think of them off the top of my head. So as of now, no, I'm not really a big conspiracy theorist, but I do own the domain legoconspiracies.com, so hit me with your Lego conspiracies in the comments section below, pinned comment. Patrick says, hey Ryan, whenever I try to place big orders for bricks on Bricklink, I have to order from several stores, pay several postage costs, and they all arrive at different times. I see YouTubers getting big orders at the same time, but I can't work out how. Is there a specific place on Bricklink where you have to go, or do you just keep looking around and pay extra to get huge orders? So essentially, if you want to get an order, it seems to you that a very big thing of purchasing is getting everything on the exact same day, which I don't understand the necessity for that. So for example, would it be better for you if everything just showed up all on the same day on Friday instead of sporadically throughout the week? I just don't understand the logic there. That being said, you can definitely order everything from one store, and yes, it will potentially cost you more because every store sets their price on an individual level and is their own seller. So you're gonna have to order from a singular store if you obviously want it all to come in one box. I'm no Bricklink expert, but I definitely can tell you that there is a way to create like a wish list, and then you can have Bricklink software actually tell you your options for purchasing from that wish list, be it at the cheapest price or from the fewest number of stores. So it can even tell you, so if you want to buy like 10 different parts, it can tell you if it's even possible to buy all of those parts in just one store. So I would Google that, look into it. Again, I'm not a Bricklink expert, so I can't sit here and guide you through how to do that, but that is a thing that is possible that you can do. That being said, back to you saying you see YouTubers getting big orders at the same time, I would very much wager that they either did what I just explained to you, where you can use Bricklink software to order it all from one store, just put together a wish list. They just waited for it to all arrive to their house throughout the week, and then they made a video opening it or showing it all to you. Felix says, how has that been affecting you? You put a laughing crying emoji. It's not really that not serious. Like, it's not really a laughing matter. And you guys can let me know how coronavirus is affecting you down in the comments as well, because I'm kind of curious, because I think it's affecting everybody in some way. You can say it's not, but it has probably affected you. There's like a 98% chance it's affecting you. And the way it's affecting me is mentally. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like, I still go to the park and play basketball. I guess I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going to go to the gym because that seems like a place where probably gonna pick it up. Probably not the best place to go. I'll just work out here, do some push-ups, sit-ups, play basketball out front on days where I'm not going to the park to play, whatever. But I'm not gonna go to the gym and lift weights because that seems like a place where a lot of people go, and they're all sweaty and the germs and everything, and yeah, just stay away from there. So that's one big way it has been affecting me, because I had been on a pretty good gym grind. But I would say the biggest way it's affecting me is sports. They took away my sports, bro. They took away our sports. How are they gonna do that? And it was the right decision to end the sports for a while, but dude, it's wild, right? They literally took away basketball, baseball, and hockey all at the same time, and it's really sad, right? Like, I just have nothing to watch. To that note, though, it means I'm going to be making more videos, and I think this may mean the same thing for a lot of other YouTubers, but about a week ago, it kind of hit me that this is kind of where it's heading, is that I'm just going to be sitting in my room. I'm not going to go anywhere. I don't have anything to do because there's no sports to watch, which is something that I would 3 hours a day, maybe, watching basketball, hockey, or baseball, and football, obviously, when it's football season, but football season is still far, far away. And I'm just not spending that time doing that right now because they aren't on to watch. So it's just kind of like, well, I guess I'll just make 3 videos a day, and I don't know if I'm going to upload 3 videos a day, obviously, but I can definitely start stockpiling those videos for the future. Maybe when I want to take some time off from doing YouTube videos, I just have extra videos. So I'm actually really looking forward to knocking out and being super productive with a ton of videos. So I would say that's the gist of how it's affecting me. Maybe I can report back again next week if anything has changed, but it seems like it's still going to continue to get worse in America before it gets better, and hopefully not too much worse. Hopefully everyone ends up, I mean, I know that's not going to happen, but you know, hope the best for everyone. But obviously there are going to be some rough times still in the coming weeks, and hopefully maybe another month. Ryan Matthews says, hey Ryan, what is a set that has never come out and you don't think will ever come out? So my answer to this is probably a Clone Wars styled MTT. I know we've gotten an MTT before, we've gotten a few, but I think a Clone Wars painted one just probably won't ever come out. I don't really have a rhyme or reason as to why, but I think that's a set that won't happen. Cool Bricks Animation says, who do you think will win LEGO Masters? So if you asked me a week ago, oh, spoiler alert, just real quick, if you haven't watched LEGO Masters, don't want to know who got eliminated, spoiler alert, Iceberg Bricks would have been my answer, but unfortunately, he got eliminated last week, so that sucks. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the two people that are most like me, and I think their names are Aaron and Chris. I've probably messed up one of them, but the two guys that are like my age have my new allegiance as of now, so we'll see how that develops. But LEGO Masters has still been pretty interesting. Unfortunately, the CV will not affect LEGO Masters because it's already filmed and done, so I'm very much looking forward to the coming weeks of the show. Kappa Brick says, when is the last time you ate pudding? Probably about 10 years ago. Lightning Cuber says, from a stop-motion animator's perspective, would you recommend buying fake Lego? And I find this question very interesting because I fail to see why a stop-motion animator would have a different motive than anyone else when buying Lego or fake Lego. And to answer you, no, I would not recommend buying fake Lego under almost any circumstance except for your own personal entertainment. TCB Nightwig says, what happened to the vlog this week? And my answer to this will always be either A, maybe I just didn't do anything that week, and who knows, maybe these CV vlogs for the next few weeks will be super boring because I won't go anywhere. But that being said, I'm one person. I can't do everything. I ended up getting sick and I just didn't feel like editing it, and I didn't. Like, I just decided I didn't want to, and I would put all the content into one super vlog the next week, and that vlog is out now. It's over 30 minutes, so you have a nice bit of content there. So that's just what happens, you know? I'm one person. I can't stay on top of everything sometimes. I fall behind. I get busy, you know? I want to watch sports. At least I can't do that now. And then you end up with a week where I skip a vlog. It happens. Herleaf says, hey, Ryan, great videos always. I have a quick question. Why do you choose to incorporate so much bias into your videos? I feel like if you didn't, then you would have a much larger subscriber base and fan base. Just a thought. Keep up the great work. So I had to think about this one, and like, I don't understand how someone could not have bias. I'm gonna be reviewing this Lego set in the coming week or weeks, right? It's the midi scale Millennium Falcon, and how do you, like, I don't understand how you could watch a video of anybody's really and them not have some bias. I think everybody's biased. I never think of it that way, right? Like, maybe you watch the video and you're like, oh, this guy's biased. But like, I just put my honest opinions and thoughts out there, and I think that's what everyone should do. I don't know what else you would want to see from me. But when I review this set, should I look at it through the lens of a 6-year-old who is finding that there are no play features on this? I don't think so. I think I should look at it through my lens, who would like to put it on the shelf, right? Like, and I think it's good for that, and I think that's okay. And I think you as an observer, you seem pretty smart. Your comment is well written, good punctuation, right? That you could obviously look at my review and say, hey, I see that he's coming from this perspective. I guess if you want to say, I think bias has a negative connotation, but we'll say that I have a different perspective on things. And you can look at it from your own perspective and say, hey, while Ryan appreciates it for its display factors and thinks it's a 9 out of 10 because of that, I can see that maybe he doesn't really care for a play feature in a set like this, and maybe that's something you're looking for, and you can look at that and be like, okay, so Ryan thinks this is 9 out of 10, but I don't think it's very good, and I think that's okay. And to your point that you think I would have a much larger fan base, I disagree. I think that you should be genuine on YouTube. You should be you. You should put your opinion out there, and your opinion is going to be biased because it's your opinion, right? And I think I had a really good saying in my video yesterday, my review of the Imperial Shuttle Tidarium, where I said, there's a lot of bias there, referring to my previous statement, but there's a lot of bias everywhere, so why do you care? And that rhymed, and I thought it was good. And like, that's my point, is like, if you watch any Lego review, there is going to be a degree of bias to what that person likes, and that's just what you're getting, and you have to be able to look at that video and know that that's going to be there no matter who you're watching. Anyone can say they're not being biased, but like, I'm gonna be honest, it's not like a thing that I think is possible, right? Like, I'm a Star Wars fan. Of course I'm gonna love this. I love Star Wars. And someone that's not a Star Wars fan is not gonna love this because they don't love Star Wars. irregardless of whether or not it's objectively a good set, which I think you have to kind of decide for yourself. That's kind of the way I look at review videos. They're more of like, hey, check this thing out. I can tell you everything I think about it, but you have to come away with your own decision. Just let it maybe nudge you in the direction where you may already want to go anyway. Hopefully that wasn't too convoluted and messy, but that's kind of my thoughts on your question there. Charles says, from evaluating a collection, what is more impressive, quality/rarity or quantity? Follow up, what 3 sets do you look for in someone's collection that make you think, yeah, that's a good collection? So I'll answer your follow-up first. The sets that I look for in a collection, that's not actually something I've ever really thought of, but if I had to say something, I would really say that looking for like a couple of like UCS sets really would be a thing that would be like, hey, this guy's maybe not a good collection. I don't think that's really something I really think about too much. Is like, oh, this guy's got a terrible collection, what a loser. Like, that's not the way I think. But I would say, I think of someone as a serious collector would be more of a way I would think about it. I'd be like, oh, this guy's got a serious Lego collection as soon as I start seeing UCS sets pop up in there, right? That means you have invested some real money into it, right? And you want to have something that you're really proud of on display. That being said, what is more impressive, quality/rarity versus quantity? I think that both can be good, right? You have some collectors on Instagram that have these incredible collections of these really rare, like 1 of 1, 1 of 5, 1 of 10 type things, and they have all of them, right? Like, they are incredible collectors. God knows what their job is. I mean, good for them. They are making tons of money to have the disposable income to pick up the rarest of the rare Lego stuff, and that is really cool. But I think it's also really cool for people that have giant clone armies and people that have giant collections of like 1 of every mainline Lego Star Wars set, you know? So I think it can be equally impressive whether it's rare or you just have a ton of something. So I think it can go both ways. But as one final note on that, I also think it's important that your collection fits your space. I think I've outgrown my space, and I think that's quite obvious. And my collection has become quite messy, and that's no longer a cool display. Like, my collection just doesn't look that great back there. I'm gonna be honest. Thomas says, what is the longest time you have been awake for and why? I don't actually know the actual answer to this. I've never like started a stopwatch when I woke up one day and then ended it when I fell asleep the next day or whatever. But I've only ever pulled a few all-nighters where I didn't fall asleep like immediately the next morning, and most of those I end up falling asleep by like noon the next day anyway, and those would be for Call of Duty midnight releases. Zach B says, do you have any tattoos? If not, would you ever get one, and what of? No, I do not currently have any tattoos. No, I don't really ever plan on getting any tattoos, but if I ever was to get one, it would either be a Boston sports team logo, Patriots or Celtics probably would be my top 2 there, or maybe the Lego logo or the Star Wars logo. I think those are 2 other really big influences on my life. Maybe YouTube, maybe a YouTube logo, maybe Call of Duty, like big things in my life. Stuff like that would be the things I would likely get a tattoo of if I ever did get a tattoo, but again, I'm not too high on that. David has a question. He says, my 8-year-old nephew wants to build a Clone Wars battle scenes. Where can I buy Star Wars minifigures? I went to the Lego site and could not find them. Any suggestions? So you cannot just buy Lego Star Wars minifigures, very unfortunately, but that's just the way Lego's business model and contract with Disney and like the contract Hasbro has with Disney to make Star Wars stuff works. It's just they cannot sell individual Star Wars figures, and even if they could, I don't think they would, because they make more money selling sets. So really, you're just gonna have to buy sets, or if you just want to buy minifigures, I would really recommend Bricklink.com or eBay, obviously. So you can go on Bricklink, you can click minifigures and then Star Wars, and then you're gonna be right where you want to be. Just find the clones within there. So really, Bricklink would probably be the easiest place to find some, or you can just buy some lots of them on eBay. Try to stay away from the fake stuff. Keith says, do you think anything Lego related will be affected by the CV, like events, production, etc.? So it has already been announced that some Lego conventions have either been canceled or pushed back. Not the 2 that I'm going to, Brickworld Chicago or Brick Fair Virginia. If there's more info on that, I'll let you guys know, because those are the 2 that I care about and that I plan on going to this summer, assuming everything returns to normal by then, or some semblance of normal by then. As far as Lego production, I'm not sure. I know they shut down the Lego house in Denmark. I think they stopped doing the Lego pick a minifigure thing at Lego stores for a little while, so that's definitely a thing. I don't think Lego stores have closed yet, although they probably should. Like, nobody's going out to buy Lego right now. Probably just smart to just close your stores at this point for a month or 2. There's no way to know. These things are going to be developing, and it'll be really interesting to look back on maybe in 6 months and do a video and be like, how Lego was affected by CV. I really want to do a video right now titled that, and or how Lego is being affected and will continue to be affected. That might be a very interesting video, but I think that might also be a really good podcast topic for Bricks and Bits. But let me know if I should do a video on that. I'm not sure. Luke wants to know, is it possible to get the display cases at Target in the Lego section? Yes and no. You are not supposed to get them. Lego says on the things they are supposed to be thrown away, okay? They're supposed to be destroyed, thrown away, sent back, whatever. You are not supposed to end up with that. That being said, if you ask the right Target employee or the right Target manager, maybe on the right day, maybe you'll end up with a Lego display. They're on eBay. You can find them there. I've bought one at a Lego convention before. They're not terribly easy to get, but it's not impossible to get. Again, you're going to have to ask your Target store if you're able to take them when they get rid of them. Like, it's possible they'll say yes. They do sometimes say yes from what I've heard. I don't think I've ever really asked because I don't have space for that type of thing. But if you really want one, go in and ask. The worst they can do is say no, and that's only going to hurt your pride a little bit probably, so you'll be okay. That's all for Ask MandRproductions, guys. If you did enjoy, leave a like, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below. Let me know how CV has affected you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.